So I just want to open this video because I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, why is bro using Viz translations for this little like off script talk he's doing about the current state of Jujutsu Kaisen? I gotta tell y'all, TCB has been using the freakiest ads ever, and they just bombard you with hella ads now. I cannot use TCB for anything, nothing anymore. TCB is cooked. It's like, it's exactly what people used to complain about OP scans for, but since OP scans is gone, TCB rubbing their hands together like, oh yeah, now they don't got a choice. Now I just see freak Diddy ads all over my screen whenever I try and like use TCB. So I'll use their scans for manga reviews on 100, but I cannot do it when I have OBS on, streaming, nothing, bro. Because if anything from that website pops up, I'm cooked. I get a scholarship every 2 minutes on there, and in every other minute, it's a y'all don't want to know. With that said, let's get into the video. So let's talk about the current state of Jujutsu Kaisen. Before I get into this conversation, I do want to preface this that I'm going in with the perspective that all series, all stories, things of that nature are there's no, you can enjoy art however you enjoy it. Jujutsu Kaisen is art, stories are art. I don't think there's a checklist on the internet where we say this is how a story's good. Does it foreshadow someone's death 300 chapters in advance? Nope. Okay, bad. Does a character like Goku exist in the story? Nope. Okay, 5 points off. I don't understand where this kind of logic and thinking comes from, because if you ask most people who think like this to articulate what exactly makes a story good, they can't answer. They'll just sit here and say it's bad. Now I think it's okay to say you don't like a story. I think it's okay to say you don't like a piece of manga, whatever. But if you're saying something's bad, I hope you're trolling, because that's when I'm trying to troll. That's why I be like, yeah, this series bad. But trust and believe, I'm still reading it every week. Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man. And I'm still on them chapters every week, although I'll complain about it. Anyways, let's continue. The current state of Jujutsu Kaisen has had about 40 chapters straight of just hints. There's really been nothing. Well, there's been story developments, there's been things from characters, there's been reveals in like, you know, you'll see the story kind of manifest in certain holes of the story be fulfilled. But if I look at this from the perspective of most people, they aren't paying attention to that. They're just staring at the fact that this guy has been fighting for 40 chapters. We want to move on to the next development. I'm pretty sure this is the final battle in the series. I don't think any author would have a character be the main villain fighting for 40 chapters straight if they weren't the main villain. This has got to be some sort of record in the modern day in the last 10 years. Because when's the last time we had one main guy, one big main villain? Not like Obito, then Madara took over, then Black Zetsu appeared, and then Madara came back, and then, well, he didn't come back, but Black Zetsu was over there while Madara was over here, and then Kaguya came. You know what I'm saying? This is just Sukuna, and then we had Kenjaku on the other side of the map, all the way in Lake Gosho. Mind you, that's like on the other side of the island they're on. I think Tokyo, right? Yeah, Japan. That's on the other side of Japan, basically. Lake Gosho's pretty far from this area, which I don't know how Utah got pulled up so fast, but we don't question that. Somebody's gonna have the answer in the comments. And it's just been Sukuna. I do think that this fight, I've been enjoying every chapter of it. I like to see like what happens. I find every little development in this fight to be interesting, because you know what? All I think about is the experience I'm going to have when I reread the Shinjuku Showdown, the entire arc. I promise you, 2 to 3 years after this arc's finished, people are gonna be looking at this arc like, yo, this was legendary. This was a one-of-a-kind experience, etc. Jujutsu Kaisen certainly taught me this lesson, because back when Yuji was fighting Mahito in the manga, I was like, bro, this fight needs to end. I hate this fight. It's taking too long. I was one of those people, guys. And then I learned very quickly. I reread the whole fight. I said, "Yo, this goes hard, bro. This shit hard as fuck. This shit hard. And, never mind that, right?" So I held on to this mentality, like just wait for the fights to finish. I know this is a hard ask, but then again, you don't gotta read the chapters every week, brother. You don't gotta keep up with the series every week. There's more than Jujutsu Kaisen out there. Sakamoto Days. I'm telling y'all, read Sakamoto Days. that might be tomorrow's topic. Let me focus. But yeah, take a break from the series. This fight's gonna be over like next 2 to 3, 4, 5 chapters, probably 10. Watch, Sukuna took another Black Flash, and thus he learned reverse curse technique again. I don't know, man. I'm just yapping. I'm telling y'all, bro. We know what's gonna happen from here on out, right? Everybody's got removed from the fight. Yuta's down. Todo he broke the second Vibra slap. He's done. Hana's not gonna be able to do something else. Jacob's ladder. Sukuna's gonna come out. Yuji's still here. It will be a one-on-one from here on out. We'll finally see this fight end. I think could it be more obvious? So I'm very confident in the next couple of chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen and the ending that is sure to come. However, I can understand people being tired with the series because it's been the same thing over and over. I do think for what we have, it's been quite strong. We've had many very good moments, such as 257 here. That's how you know I love this chapter, because it opened up in the middle of the chapter. That means I was reading it again. And don't read any of this text. I don't think it's translated well, but yeah, I think TCB translated this better. Would love to use TCB, but they be having some freaky ass ads now. It's like OP scans. You cannot read. I can't have TCB scans up on a video. And like this reveal here tells us that Yuji was he had a Sukuna finger in him the entire series, and this Sukuna finger was unleashed. So imagine you thought Sukuna was at 15 fingers the whole series. Is this the beginning of perfect preparation? Yeah, sorry. This Sukuna finger would be unleashed here. I think 136. Yeah. When Kenjaku speaks of the Culling game, this Sukuna finger was unleashed, making Yuji have 16 fingers. He broke all the vows. Sukuna's finger placed in Yuji was one of those vows. Hence is why Megami and Yuji were like, yo, how is Yuji a player in the Culling game if... Here, my bad. I wanted to skip to the moment where Megami's like, why is Yuji already in the game? It's because Kenjaku had always... You can see here in the bottom left corner that Kenjaku had Yuji eat the finger from when he was a kid. But Yuji tries to say that it's because Sukuna's within me, but Megami's like, no, you ingested Sukuna's finger of your own will. Kenjaku had nothing to do with that. But we find out that Yuji had a finger placed within him way before these events, but it was only unsealed when the Culling game was started, hence is why Yuji was already a player. Chapter 257 gave us like that massive reveal that changes a lot of how we can perceive the series. We see Yuji finally get his awakening. That was a nice refresher. This chapter was really strong. 236 was probably one of the best chapters in anything I've ever read. What a perfect conclusion. Mwah. People will complain about the world cutting slash because it's just so instant, it just comes out of nowhere. I mean, I don't have an answer for it, right? But I love it. I can't say I don't love it. I can't say I don't love this chapter. I mean, it makes sense within the context of the series. People just wanted to see Gojo get hit with the technique, but I don't think you can really... It's supposed to instantaneously hit. Gojo had no idea like it even existed. This was a surprise attack. Sukuna is the con artist of con artists. He's gonna do something as underhanded as that, and he proves how much of a loser he is by doing something so slick and underhanded. I love the chapter. What else? What other good moments have we had, really? I can't remember them off the top of my head. I think this is Kusakabe's fight. Oh no, the chapter before was. But I think this chapter was really nice too, to see like progress, to see Yuji remind us, like, bro, we've all worked together so long to last this long, so we can finally get this far into the fight. People, y'all are gonna appreciate this gauntlet, all these battles, all these moments when the series concludes and when this battle concludes. And I think the fights have been stronger than ever. I think the plot for what it is has been stronger than ever. I mean, this is a fight to save the entire world. The scale is higher than ever. It's a massive scale for a series like this. Usually all the fights in Jujutsu Kaisen are just one-on-ones. Like, it's just, okay, this person gets cooked by a curse, oh well, we have these other sorcerers here. No, they're fighting against Sukuna, who can activate the merger at any moment, and like, they lose here, everything's over. One person gets clapped in this entire gauntlet. One person wasn't here, everybody else would have been screwed. Every single little thing that has happened to Sukuna has been essential to keeping him to stopping him from just slaughtering everybody instantly. And I do think that's what makes me understanding this has played a huge role into me really enjoying it. Every single little thing that matters to Sukuna really matters. For example, at chapter 258, the story's like, if Yuji did not hit 7 black, let's go to the first page. Let me see, right on the left page, it's like, if Yuji did not hit all those black flashes, if he did not hit 7 black flashes, let me reiterate this, Sukuna would have been able to regenerate and completely destroy all of Jujutsu High and everybody else, and all their efforts would have been for nothing. Although Yuji had just said 2 chapters ago, like, we did all this to get so far. It's like walking on a very tight rope. In, I don't know if people really see it this way. I don't know if they just see it as a fight. But nah, man, it's like a huge puzzle to me. It's really like, these guys they're one mistake from losing everything. In 40 chapters of these super crazy, relentless plans that require perfect execution in the protection of Yuji at all times, 40 chapters straight, and one screw up. It's very tense. There's a lot of tension to it. So I enjoy just getting that one chapter every week and seeing the progress they're making as sorcerers to completing this insane feat that couldn't even be replicated by the strongest sorcerers in history back in the golden age of the Heian era. And I do love the fact that Sukuna is in this modern era fighting, and all of his weaknesses against all these characters, they only exist because he's in the modern era. He's a parasite to Megumi. So that allows Yuji to hit him with soul punches and separate him easier. Gojo Satoru exists only in the modern era. So guess who can weaken him in order for everybody else to have a chance of fighting him? Gojo Satoru. And I'm sure there's many other little things to the series that kind of, screw Sukuna over for being such a bum and having to just cheat his way to the modern era. Bro was like, there's prices to pay for being greedy. Look at him paying that price, and you see it happen slowly and surely. And then Sukuna also challenges each of these characters, especially Yuta. Yuta gets a lot of characterization in this arc that we honestly have been dying for since he came back to the series. People used to clown on Yuta for being kind of a Pokemon Trainer Red like dude. Like, he wasn't really much but a strong guy, but we really see that Yuta's like, see more to his character now with this whole monster thing going on, and how he takes responsibility for going to fight Kenjaku instead of fighting Sukuna, and that anybody else could have fought Kenjaku. I wanted to get my get back, and this is what I get. And he's really like, I don't think Yuta truly understood how big of a deal his presence was until he messed up by insisting that he wanted to take out Kenjaku. There's a lot of like little neat things in this arc that really are great, and I wish people would appreciate them more, but I'm sure that you know, we'll appreciate it more in the future when we sit down and read this entire saga from beginning to end. Where we're gonna love it more and more and more. I you know, to conclude with my thoughts for this video and basically the Shinjuku Showdown, I do want to say that it is a very strong arc that revolves around these three characters here, and that's why I love it so much. Three of Jujutsu Kaisen's best enjoyable characters that we all want to see on screen, just really being challenged in every way possible, walking on this super tightrope against this deity called Sukuna, being the first characters in history to ever have a real true chance at defeating him. I mean, y'all gotta remember, Kenjaku did not even consider anybody as like being capable of standing to Sukuna. Back when he spoke to Kashimo, he said, yo, like, nobody can mess with this guy at all. I really love this arc. I can't wait to see it conclude. I do think that it's really better than people give it credit for. There's so many reveals. But you have to really process the chapters. You really have to try and read them. You have to sit here and understand the context of the situation we're in. This fight has a higher scale. There's more on the line than anything else ever before. And Gege wants to really embody that through his art, through the story. He wants to let us know that, like, these guys, Sukuna is such a threat that these guys have to fight him for over 40 chapters straight. They cannot mess up one time or the entire world's screwed. This isn't just a one-on-one fight. This isn't a battle of ideals anymore. Ideals necessarily don't matter in the face of Sukuna. They matter to the characters themselves, but when you're fighting Sukuna, there is an excuse to disregard your ideals and what you stand for in order to win, because it's just more than a one-on-one fight. It's more than a clash of souls at this point. Although Yuji and Sukuna are quite literally having a clash of souls through who they are. Hence is why the message between the two characters is still prevalent even in the battle, and Sukuna's forced to think about it as he fights Yuji. Hence is why he makes the promise to break Yuji's soul before anything else, and he almost does, but you know, Todo pulls up. With that said, I do want to conclude that I think the current state of Jujutsu Kaisen is better than most people will give it credit for, but this is my opinion. Stories are art. Jujutsu Kaisen is a story. You can perceive the story however you like it, and if you don't like the series, that's like, what am I gonna do? Tell you to like it? Like, bro, you can hate you can hate the series if you want. It's okay. But I do think when people say things like the series is bad, you can't. Come on, what are we talking about at this point? I don't think the series is necessarily bad, but you can dislike it. There are series I don't really like currently, like Chainsaw Man, but I know it's a really good series, although I'll troll about it because people get really mad. You know, sometimes I'd be bored. With that said, guys, let me know what you guys think of the current state of Jujutsu Kaisen. I think that's doing pretty good for what it is, especially on a weekly basis, in how I see the story. I see the story as like a never-ending walk on a tightrope, and one screw-up is gonna mess up everything. It keeps the tension always high for me. I want to know how you guys see it. I want to know how you guys think about the story in general. And with that said, yeah, thank you for watching the video. Probably talk about Sakamoto Days tomorrow because I've been seeing a lot of people complain about the recent chapter. And I really like it. That's it. Yeah, I'll let y'all go. Peace out.